There comes a time in every person's life when everything seems to crumble. Your plans fail, your relationships strain, your confidence wavers. The path you thought was clear becomes foggy and uncertain. You look around and it feels like the entire foundation of your life is shaking beneath your feet. This is the phase where everything falls apart. But here's what they don't tell you about this phase. It's not the end. It's not your breaking point. It's your breakthrough disguised as a breakdown. Because while everything around you may be falling apart, there's one thing that doesn't have to fall with it, and that's you. We build our lives on things we think are permanent. That job we thought we'd have forever. That relationship we believed would never end. That dream we were certain would come true exactly as we imagined it. And when those things crumble, we feel like we're crumbling too. But the truth is, nothing in this world is permanent except the person you're becoming through it all. The phase where everything falls apart isn't a punishment, it's a revelation. It's life stripping away everything that was never meant to stay, so you can finally see what was always meant to remain. Your resilience, your strength, your unbreakable core. Some of the most successful people in history went through periods where everything collapsed. Steve Jobs was fired from his own company. J.K. Rowling was a single mother living on welfare. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Oprah was fired from her first television job. What do they all have in common? They didn't fall apart when everything else did. They understood something profound. External circumstances are temporary, but internal character is permanent. Buildings can collapse, but the builder remains. Dreams can shatter, but the dreamer can dream again. The phase where everything falls apart is actually the phase where everything falls into place. It just doesn't look like it yet. This painful phase exists for a reason. It exists to show you what you're really made of. It exists to burn away the false versions of yourself you've been carrying. It exists to strip you down to your essence so you can rebuild from a foundation of truth rather than illusion. You can't become who you're meant to be while clinging to who you used to be. And sometimes life has to pry your fingers off the old identity, the old dreams, the old life, so your hands are free to catch what's coming next. This is the phase where you discover that you're not fragile, you're not breakable, you're not dependent on circumstances for your worth. You are the constant in the equation of your life. Everything else is a variable. So what do you do when everything falls apart? You stand, not because everything is okay, but because you refuse to let external chaos create internal collapse. You stand when your business fails. You stand when relationships end. You stand when plans crumble. You stand when hope feels distant. You stand not because you're unaffected, but because you're undefeated. Standing doesn't mean you're not hurting. It doesn't mean you're not scared. It doesn't mean you have all the answers. Standing simply means you refuse to let this moment define your entire story. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become after what happened to you. Here's what the phase of falling apart teaches you. It teaches you that you can survive what you thought would destroy you. It teaches you that rock bottom is actually solid ground on which to rebuild. It teaches you that endings are just beginnings in disguise. When everything falls apart, you get clarity. The noise disappears. The distractions fade. The things that don't matter reveal themselves. And suddenly, with painful clarity, you see what actually deserves your energy, your time, your life. This phase forces you to ask the hard questions. What do I really want? Who do I really want to become? What am I building my life on? What matters? What doesn't? And those questions, as uncomfortable as they are, lead you to the answers that change everything. The beautiful thing about watching everything fall apart is that you get to rebuild deliberately. You're not just reacting anymore. You're not just accepting what life handed you. You're choosing piece by piece what your new life will look like. You get to decide what beliefs you'll carry forward and what beliefs you'll leave in the rubble. You get to decide which relationships are worth fighting for and which ones serve their purpose. You get to decide what dreams are authentic to your soul and what dreams were borrowed from someone else's expectations. This is your chance to build a life that's truly yours. not one that's been cobbled together from other people's opinions and society's scripts. The strength you didn't know you had. Every time you think you can't take another step, you do. Every time you think you can't face another day, you do. Every time you think you can't carry this weight, you do. And slowly you realize something incredible. You're stronger than you ever imagined. Not because this phase is easy, but because you're surviving something that once would have destroyed you. The phase where everything falls apart is also the phase where you discover your power. Not the power to control everything, but the power to remain yourself when everything around you is chaos. That's real power, not the Instagram version, not the highlight reel, the raw, unfiltered, battle-tested strength that comes from standing in the storm and refusing to break. Nobody asks for this phase. Nobody prays for everything to fall apart, but everyone who survives, it eventually sees it for what it really was, a gift. It's the gift of clarity, the gift of authenticity, the gift of knowing who you are when the masks are stripped away, the gift of discovering that your worth isn't tied to your achievements, your relationships, or your circumstances. You are valuable simply because you exist, and no amount of external chaos can change that fundamental truth. This phase teaches you to find peace in uncertainty, to find strength in vulnerability, to find hope in endings. Right now, in this moment, while everything feels like it's falling apart, your comeback is being prepared. The lessons you're learning, the strength you're building, the wisdom you're gaining, it's all fuel for what comes next. The universe isn't punishing you, it's preparing you. Every warrior needs a wilderness. Every hero needs a trial. Every phoenix needs to burn before it can rise. This is your wilderness. This is your trial. This is your fire. And when you emerge from it, not if but when, you will be unrecognizable. Not because you've become someone else, but because you've finally become fully yourself. So here's the choice that's in front of you right now. Will you fall apart with your circumstances, or will you stand firm while everything else crumbles? Will you let this phase define you, or will you use this phase to refine you? Will you see yourself as a victim of what's happening, or as a survivor who's being forged in fire? The phase where everything falls apart is not the end of your story. It's the plot twist that makes your story worth telling. To everyone who's in that phase right now, I want you to hear this. You are not broken. You are breaking through. You are not falling apart. You are falling into alignment with who you're meant to be. You are not losing. You are shedding what was never yours to carry. Keep standing. Keep breathing. Keep believing that this chapter, as painful as it is not the final chapter. The best version of you is on the other side of this breakdown. The life you're meant to live is being cleared of everything that would have held it back. Everything is falling apart so that something better can fall into place. And you're not going anywhere. Because while everything around you may crumble, the one thing that will never fall apart is the unbreakable spirit inside you. This is Motivation Thrones reminding you, the phase where everything falls apart is just the phase before everything comes together. Stand firm. Your breakthrough is coming.